Yo, MDP, that's me, and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to swap out some shoes. I know it is like the #1 requested thing on my ass box, so um, I don't take requests and of late right now. I got way too many projects going on, but and too many problems in my Sims 2 game, honestly, to worry about taking on requests. But yeah, DD gets a lot of my shoe swapping requests because I have terrible taste in shoes. Because I'm a practical shoe person. I don't like heels. I don't like the fancy little boots. I don't. I just prefer simple little shoes. But you know what? We can fix that. And I'm going to show you how. You like something to your taste? Well, let's change it to your taste. Let's say today I put up this dress for download, but I don't know when this video is going to go up. So I'm just going to say you found this dress, you like this dress, you don't like the heels, you don't like the T-strap heels. Why didn't they put pumps on there instead? Well, you know what? Let me download it. I already have it, so I'm not gonna download it, but download it. Download the shoes that you want to go with it. If you can, find a pantsless version of the shoes, because you don't want any kind of clicking or any clipping of the shoes or the shaving of the shoes. You want the full shoe, as much of the bare leg as you can. There's plenty examples out there of shoe. There's so many different places where you can find the shoes. Or if you're like I know exactly where to go. I'm gonna go download it. Go download your shoes. Go download the outfit that you want to shoe swap, and we're gonna go into this. So I already have this. I made it, so I already got the files. They're right there. I'm gonna go into SimPE. I'm gonna click New Project, and then I'm gonna open that file. I'm gonna find it. Let me do alphabetical order here. I'm gonna click on the mesh. Conveniently named mesh, makes it easier. I'm gonna go to the geometric data container, or the GMDC. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to extract it. I'm going to go put this in a folder that I have already made. And you can notice I have a texture in here. I'll talk about that. I don't need this anymore. So I'm just going to exit out. I'm going to automatically create a new package because I'm OCD that way. I'm going to exit out of SimPE. I'm going to pull up BuyShop here for a minute. I'm going to talk about why that texture. Extract yourself a skin texture. This is just pro tip from me, and you'll always have it. Always have it. I don't know why I clicked on it because now we're gonna have to sit here and wait. Hey, 4-4, that's my best friend's birthday actually. But no, buy shop. No, don't not respond. Oh no, it's fine. You always have it, and it'll always be in your projects folder. It's always gonna be. Let me not go into Sims 4. It's always going to be there, whatever you name it. This version is the stick skin, so it's there. Woohoo! But that's just pro tip. That way, when you're in Milkshape, having to redo the collarbone area of the shirt you're making, or gotta make sure those legs, where you cut it off to do the shoe swap, make sure them vertices are connected. And so, always having that texture already extracted, good business, good for you, and makes it go by. That way, you don't have to continuously extract skin textures. Always have one extracted, one that where you can see the lines, preferably better. Actually, probably a darker texture would work better. That way, you can see the white lines of the planes better. But I don't know. I just had that one from way back when I edited it, and I was just like, I'll keep it. So we're gonna exit out by shop. We're actually gonna open up Milkshape here. It'll take a little bit because my Milkshape is so slow. But we can, just admire the concept art that I made on my desktop for a while. Oh, there it is. All right, we're gonna go to File. We're gonna import. We're gonna go to Sims 2 Unimesh, and we're gonna find our folder we made, shoe swap bottom. We're gonna keep our morphs today because we can. Because if you do this, it will, as a creator, it will cause you so much less headache in the future. Make your shoes a separate group. You could do that, you're set for life. It just makes things so much easier. That way you don't have to remake the morphs. And remaking morphs for me is a nightmare because holy moly, does my morphs never stick, and I have to do it like 4 or 5 times to actually get it to work. Don't know why. I don't know why. No one knows why, but it is what it is. I think it's just my milkshake. It hates me because it's like, you overwork me, dude. You overwork me. Anyways, we got these T-strap heels, and we're like, I don't like them. So I already have all my shoes that I prefer extracted, but like we did with our dress here, let me exit out of that. Like we did with our dress here, extracting it just the same way from that custom mesh you want, or if you need to extract it from the game, I'll try to remember to go through Body Shop and tell you how to do that. But most of the time it's going to be a custom mesh, right? Because we like our Senate Hills, we like um, our Emerald Hills and stuff like that, or Emerald Flats, our Kalen canvases, things like that. So um, so we're going to extract the pantsless bottoms just like we did this dress here. Have it saved in your, I would have it saved in your folder, but if you're like me and you do a tons of meshing, so you just have this whole folder of shoes, because why not? Um, just do that. Whatever's easier for you as an from an organization standpoint. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and import these shoes just like we did importing this mesh, and we're not going to include any additional bones because we don't need any additional bones. I'm going to go to shoes extracted, and I want to find them heels that everybody loves, them Senate pumps. I'm going to click on it. I don't need any morphs with that. And voila. I'm going to unselect a bunch of stuff that way I can see better. Anyways, so if you have a nude bottom, a pantsless bottom as they're called, of the heel you want, or shoe, whatever you want. Maybe you wanted to add cowboys boots. Go wherever your heart tells you to go. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to add like cowboy boots or anything like that because sometimes you can cheat with boots. You don't have to connect the skin or stuff like that. So I'm not going to show that. Anything that, like, with certain boots and stuff, if it has transparency so I can see the floor, I'm going to attach the skin in some way. Or I'm going to find a way to make vertices combine that way you can't see inside of it. Because that's just me as a nitpick, not necessarily as a creator, a little bit from a creator standpoint, but from a storyteller standpoint, I don't want to see through my sim shoes when I'm taking pictures and be like, oh no, I can see the floor. Aww. Or like through their shoulder, I could see, see through and see, the wall. I'm like, aww. No, thank you. I don't want that. That's just a nitpick thing for me personally. It doesn't have to be everyone else's way to do it. That's just how I do it. So, anyways, we are going to go in here and we're going to find out where's the best place. And thankfully, this is a nude bottom. But say that, you can't find a nude bottom in the shoe. You can only find to, like, the ankle here. You want to find the vertices that are closest together and go from there. Thankfully, here, I think up here somewhere. Yeah, here looks like, or here, doesn't really, I guess. They're a little close. But I'm going to do these because these are the closest ones to. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do these because they're not as close together. That way you can see the vertices move. Normally, you want to do the ones that are almost exact. That way it makes it just easier to, nitpick and do them. But you know what? Today I'm going to show you harder because I don't know. Just that way you can see the vertices moves, I guess. Anyways, so this bottom here is our new heel. Body is the heel that we have currently. So what I'm going to do is I see this is the group we want to keep, so we want to go the group underneath it, right? Make sure that you unhide the shoe you want to keep and delete the shoe you don't want. All right, we're not done yet. So we have these vertices, right? These are the ones that we want to keep. We're going to go up here to the actually, I could be really, really smart. How far do you go up? Since I have this dress this way, I could just keep what we have here and do that. But that would be easier to do since I have the bottom where I could just delete all this from this, delete this group and move this up to where this was. But I'm not going to do that because that would just show you how easy it would be to keep it. So I'm not going to do that because like here, let me show you. An easier way to do this would be to just delete that, right? Have my dress here. You can see this is the middle of where all these vertices combine. Actually, let me put this in maximum, that way you can see better. This is the maximum view. I could just take this, delete all the butt area here, and move my vertices up. These vertices here up. But we're not going to do that because that would be too easy, right? That would be too easy. I would actually do that way, but for the sake of showing how to attach the skin and everything for this tutorial, I'm not going to do that. Because you can see this is where the actual real mesh was, or the original mesh part was. So I would have to delete all this, take this and move it up, make sure to keep this vertex because this doesn't have a complete circle over here. Move this up right here. And yeah, then I would be done, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it harder on me. That way I can show you how to do this. So we're going to go, where was right here was our mesh group. This is the group that we're going to keep. So we're going to go up here and we're going to unselect the body that we are part of our mesh. I'm going to unmaximize, that way I can see better. Okay. And then we're going to, uh-oh, did I mess up? No, I didn't. All right. Heart attack there. Remember, you can only undo so much, which is Control Z. You can only undo so much in Milkshake. But in this, we're going to delete these because we're not going to need them. These are the vertices we need, right? Yeah, those are the vertices we need. And then I'm going to delete the rest of this because I don't need any of that. So what we have left is this. Now, we're not done. You see how this has got gaps in it and it's not all the way lined up? Well, we're going to fix that. Let me make that attached. So we're going to zoom into one leg at a time. And this almost matches up, yeah? See, the dots almost are exact. Almost, not quite. So what we're going to do is going to select each dot. And I'm going to turn on the wireframe, that way you can see a little bit better. You see that is selected. If I undo that, that is selected too. So both are selected. And we're going to go to vertex. We're going to go to Unimesh data merge. And then we're going to go to Unimesh normal data merge. And what that does is smooth it in. If you have two different mesh groups that you don't want, you want to have a crease there, then you can not do the normal data merge and it'll have a crease. We're just going to go around the world here and do all of them. And if you have, say, like a lot of vertices and you can't tell which one is which, just select on one mesh here and say, oh, there it is. That's the dot I need. Did I skip one? I want to make sure I didn't skip one. Oh. See, if I skipped one, there would be a line right there. All right, we're going to go back. And this is tedious, absolutely. But once you can do this, you can do anything. That's how I feel about it. I learned how to shoe swap. I learned how to frankenmesh. I learned how to mash up, which is another word for mashup. I learned how to frankenmesh. And so that started my career in meshing clothes. And then eventually I learned some more advanced stuff of how to convert clothes. But starting with something as basic as shoe swapping is what makes you understand the fundamentals of how to attach skin, how to make a mesh, extract all the stuff you need to extract, right? So, I mean, start with something small and work your way up. I used to just retexture hair and recolor clothing, and now I am converting clothes from one game to another. So, la da dee. Kind of looks like we have a line here. Might just be shadow. Might just be me. I think it's just shadow. Sometimes it's just the way it looks. Alright, so we have that attached. Da 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 da! Look at that! We have shoe swapped. We're not done though. Because one thing we need to make sure, like I said, this is where the textures come in handy. Oh, get out of the cowboy boots. I don't know why we're in them. It's where it just defaults goes. I just pulled this in here for that way we can look closer. If you do all that, like I just did, you added your texture. You go to, well, let me back up. Because my brain again is working faster than the rest of me. I go to new tab. I'm in the materials tab. I go to new. I go to none. I pick my texture and I assign it. Well, it's not showing up. Well, why isn't it showing up? I've done everything right, right? Well, that's because your milkshake, for some reason, like mine, automatically has its smooth shade. Well, I want textured. Heck yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go to Window, Texture Coordinator, and this is where we can see where they all come together. This is how all these dots and these lines are the UV of is the same thing as this. Where this is where this is, right? Where this is where this is, and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine these that way I can see it better. Make sure that there's no gaps. So I have these two groups selected, right? I'm going to regroup them. I'm going to call them body since this is a outfit we're making. This isn't a bottom. We're going to call it body. We're going to make sure we only got one comment in here and it is to the body. Make sure this doesn't say bottom. This is where most everybody messes up. It's the simplest, little easiest thing, right? You just make sure that your comments are named the same thing as your group. This is body. This is body. All right. So then I'm going to reselect that. And I'm going to go back in the coordinator and I'm going to see if there's any overlap. And it looks good. Doesn't look like any of the vertices are out of place. This one's a little bit out, which you can, zoom super far in and fix it just by moving them like so, as close as you can, so that there's no gaps. Same here. It's probably what the little line I saw was, is that the vertices aren't quite the same. But if it's so, small that you can't even eyeball it from a distance, or like even up close, like I couldn't tell. that they were, micro millimeters apart, So it's fine. This one I could tell it's a little bit jutty out. But, like I did, you just zoom, you select, you fix, and you move. Well, if you can get it. Da. Ta-ta. Don't really know if that really made a difference, but ta-da. A lot of people don't like putting them exactly on each other because that way if they, mess up, they can go back and fix them. So, another thing when you're doing, say, Sims 4 shoes, Sims 4 shoes go in this bottom corner here. So it goes over this calf here. If you're doing a full body dress that only the ankle part here will show, then it'll be all right. But you just want to make sure, that the dress, or you want to make sure that, the shoes that you put on don't interfere with the legs here. It's actually, shouldn't these be attached? Have I never noticed this in this heel? Like, these should be attached. Well, I don't want to be zoomed in that far. Ah! Too far. So, like, if these are not where they go, you just move them where you go. And you do your best to eyeball it. You can zoom in as far as possible to be able to put them where they go, but I have never noticed that these heels don't have the ankle all the way where it goes. Well, looky there. We learn something every day. I've used these heels 1,000 times, and now I'm thinking in my mind, uh-oh. That's why some tattoos that are on, like, the ankle and the foot don't match up. Okay. Da 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 da. Which, I mean, how many people have tattoos all the way down there? But, whatever. Which I don't know if I should actually be going the opposite way. The leg to the ankle instead of the ankle to the leg. But, you just decide for yourself. Does it look better this way? Does it look better that way? And if you ever mess up, you can always just start over, right? Say you decide, I don't really like this shoe, or you know what, I think I messed up really, really bad with these vertices, and I can't undo anymore in milkshake. Well, you know what, I'm just going to start over, because I already have the Pantless bottom, right? And it's a super duper easy connect the vertices, so it's fine. Yeah. I don't see much different, to be honest. They don't look like the skin's changed that much, but at least we know that they're attached, right? So that was an example of that. Of course, the shoe here isn't going to be nude like this, because one thing you do when you do a shoe, you are going to extract the texture for the shoe too, right? So, but you could do that in Body Shop, or you can do that in SimPE, whatever you prefer. I prefer SimPE to already have those textures handy, which I might have them already handy. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I have them already. Pumps. I do. I do, I do, I do. Ta-da. Ta-da. Voila. Let me do them with that texture, because that one had skin. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Looks fine. Looks fine. when you're satisfied with your mesh, you're going to go to export. And you're going to go to the Unimesh exporter. And we're not going to save it here. We're going to save it in our Shoeswapping thing. And I'm going to call this MDP AF, since this is a adult female mesh. That way it has some, we know exactly what it is. It is the ruffle dress. And I'm going to put Senate pumps mesh. Just for the name. I'm also going to control C this, copy this, because I'm going to use it here in a minute. But name it whatever you want. Just remember that hyphens plus equal signs and these and this, all them, and then like a bunch of letters and numbers. Those are all bad for your game. Underscores are good. Underscores are good. We want to make sure these load times stay as small as possible, right? All right, so then we're going to save it. It is saved. It has morphs already. We're just going to minimize this. Never exit out. Never, never, never exit out. Always minimize. You don't want to have to go back in. But for, just because we can, we're going to open up another milk shape, and we're going to make sure nothing explodes. Maybe. There it goes. And we're going to go to import. We're going to go to Unimesh import. And we're going to select the one we just did. And we're going to say yes. Nothing exploded. You see these little black things here? That's all right. That's all right. Those are just drawback faces. Take those off. Those don't show up in the game. Nothing exploded. Mesh good. We can exit out of this one. Make sure this one stays up just in case we need to go back to it. All right. So we are now going to go in. What I would do personally is put yourself a little folder here. I just put tutorial. Usually I save things in save sims, but when I'm making a mesh, I want to make sure nothing's in that save sims except for the mesh I'm making. Again, no CD thing, doesn't have anything to do with anything. Make sure that the thing that you're Shoeswapping is, that you can find it. All you need for it is the mesh and a recolor. You only need one. You don't need all of them. You just need one. And I'm going to just do this straight off of it. So I'm going to go into creator parts, make new, all that jazz. Find the one that we're making it. And I'm just going to extract it from it, to be honest, because it's already going to have the color. I'm going to show you how to put all that stuff in there anyways. And I'm just going to call this dress. Check mark. And I'm going to import it back in. Done. Done. Now, if you change the groups and you have, like me, I already have like stuff already extracted, and all I have to do is import it in and all that stuff from these specific meshes that I already have. That way, I don't, every time I make a mesh, I don't have to re-put in things. But for this particular thing, all we're going to do is put in the same one that we're Shoeswapping, right? Why wouldn't we do anything different? All right, so we're going to quit Body Shop. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to load back up. We're going to go in SimPE. We are going to go to PJSE Body Mesh Tool extracting stage, just like we, this is how you extract things from Body Shop. For instance, if you wanted the sandals from one of the Sims 2 base game meshes, this is how you would get that shoe from there, that texture and everything. And we're going to go to save sims because that's where everything in Body Shop extracts to, or extracts to. It extracts to save sims, even your sims. They all go into save sims. So we go here. This is the mesh. It's made from the AF body sundress. Don't know why. That's just the one it was originally extruded from. So we're going to go to, first thing we're going to do is go to tools. We're going to go to object tools. We're going to go fix integrity. And if you copied it, the name of the mesh like I did, you could just Control V and it will paste it on there, and you will update. You can name it whatever you want here. Most people don't name it, they just name it mesh or something that they can remember, you know. I prefer to keep it all the same name. I don't know if this affects anything, but that's, I don't know. This is just another OCD for me thing. That way I know exactly if I change that mesh, because usually if I change it, I'll add a mesh one, but or mesh two, or morph mesh, something like that. And then I'm gonna hit OK. And before I do anything else, I'm gonna go save as. I'm gonna Control V again, and I'm gonna save the mesh. I'm going to go to GMDC. I'm going to replace, not extract, replace. You don't know how many times I always hit extract and it's like, there's nothing to do here. I'm like, ugh. But anyways, I'm going to go to our folder and hey, it's the exact same name. Exact same name. This is the one we're going to put in it. And we're going to say yes. Now, if I didn't put morphs with this and I updated and I put morphs, well, I would know the difference between the meshes that is in the name of it because it would be morph mesh and not just mesh. So we now have done that. We are going to save. We're going to close that. We're going to start a new package. We're going to open file. We are going to navigate ourselves into EA Games, Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, or whatever, which one you have. And we're going to go find that dress package that we originally extracted from Body Shop. We are going to go into the 3D ID referencing file. And if this is the first time you're loading SimPE like me right now, it's going to take a little bit. Just wait for it to load all of that. When it's done, those will come down. And you're going to go to the PJSE for one day. I will be able to say that out loud. The mesh tool into the linking stage. And we are going to hit OK. And we're going to link it to the mesh that we just made. And it says you cannot close this without committing a different resource file. We're going to hit OK. But that's all right, because we need to change something anyways. We're going to go down to texture files. If you did this from a different mesh, you extracted it and you want to do it from a fresh mesh, you didn't want to do it from the mesh that you just Shoeswap. Why? I don't know. But maybe that is just how you roll. You would, find your texture and do all that stuff here. We don't have to do that here. All we have to do is change shoes. So we don't need T-strap. I'm going to build DXT. I'm going to open. I'm going to go find shoes extracted. Oh my gosh. Let me do this alphabetical order. Oh no. Senate pumps. Here we go. I'm gonna keep it on the DXT3 format. I used to do it in 5, but I found out that makes the file size bigger. So I was like, nah, no more of that. And we don't need it to be sharpened. We don't need any of this. We're just gonna build. And lo and behold, the shoe has changed, and we are going to commit. Remember, you are committing to this shoe swap. Please commit. Hit OK. And then save your package, and then close and make new package, because that's how I am in OCD and do that. And now we're going to go through Body Shop. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load. If not, I'll just, cut this part out, and that way you don't have to sit here and stare at my beautiful screen. It'll take forever. Let's go here into mdp.that'sme.tumblr.com. And where you can find everything that I have made for The Sims 2 is on here. It is on the Sims 2 CC. If my internet will load. Da. Internet has been so slow of late. I don't know why. It's just gotten really bad. I have to upload files like at midnight because it's just so slow during the day. So anyways, here you can find all the CC that I have made for The Sims 2 that's on Tumblr. If not, it will be on Hill Has Spoken. And also I have some seed for Sims 4, it's not that great. But there are some. These particular ones I actually made in Sims 2 and then made in Sims 4, even though they're Sims 4 meshes. These two. Just, da. And then also, I have a frequently asked questions resources and TUO terms of use. Can be found right there. It's still loading. We'll give it a few more minutes. My terms of use, if you use any of my meshes, is pretty straightforward. I always give credit. Don't upload to pay sites, Patreon, or any other site for any kind of profit. That includes AdFly and all of those things that will give you viruses. For objects, you can upload in lots, but do not include my lots in your neighborhood uploads. I don't allow my CC to be included in mass dump files. These are ones that where you have collected a bunch of files and you decide, I'm going to upload them. Yeah, we don't need 5 gigabytes worth of CC that we don't know what is and may be dangerous for our games because we don't know what is. As I'm an active creator, no reason to ask stuff to Sims to Packrat or ask for my files from any other content creator besides myself. You may include my meshes with your recolors. Totally awesome. Do that. You may convert, edit, mangle these meshes as you see fit, as long as you follow 1 and 2. Is it loaded? It's loaded! Alright. So let's go to create parts. We're going to start new project. We're going to go to create clothing. And we're going to find that was our mesh. This is our mesh now. We have the pumps. No more T-strap. Look at that. It's a miracle. Da, 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 da. We'll just look at the calf change though. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. All right, let's name our project something. Something good. I'm going to call it Ruffle. Because I don't know. And here you can choose your everyday, informal, whatever you want to do. If you're doing a top only dress, you can't. There's a way to make those be for more than just everyday. Also, maybe one day in the future, I can link the tutorial actually for to do that in the description below. Super easy. Just go in and do it. I think Skell is the one who made the tutorial. Oh, I don't want. I'm gonna look through my bookmarks real quick. There's a bunch of stuff in there that nobody wants to see. But anyways, so what we do here, again, we can Control V because it should still be copied to our clipboard, and we can keep that name for whatever, and we'll call it pink. We'll pull up Photoshop or whatever photo editing software you're using. Photopea, which is an internet photo editing software. It's completely on the internet. It is almost exactly like Photoshop. It uses all the same tools basically. You can use it. It's completely free. But we're going to navigate to our projects files. What did we name this? Ruffle. I already forgot. You can see here, this is our shoe. If you want to change the shoe color, you can. Most of the time, though, it's really hard to find shoes that aren't like heels that aren't in black. But there's ways photo editing to, change that. Some people have different recolors of it. You just have to find them or do some, finagling yourself to do it. I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep them black. And then here is the alpha version of that. Anything, you notice that this is black and white. Anything that is white is the mesh. Anything that is black is not the mesh. Same for here. This is the texture we're going to do. Because even though it's already pink, this isn't the file. The file that we put in was our extracted file. We're still going to have to re-import this in to be our file. See, notice how this doesn't have name in it, but when I hover over this, it does have the name in it. So this is actually our pink file. Later, when we're done recoloring, we'll go into our save sims and we will delete the dress package because we're not going to need it anymore. Anything that's ruffle is the recolors that we have done for the dress. So you'll go through and um, extract all. If you want to keep my recolors of or keep the colors that I had done for this dress, all you would have to do is go through SimPE and extract each of the textures. And how you do that is let me just quickly find one. Let me try to remember where they are. There they are. So you just go through each individual one. You go where it says dress, and you would just export it. And you would export it into whatever folder you want to export it in. And after you do that, well, let me go ahead and just do one as a test. You do that, you go into your Photoshop or photo editing, you go find that texture. I personally, to make sure that I do it correctly, I flatten it. And then, because sometimes it's not on a corner here, sometimes it's just floating, so it's really hard to put it where it is. But the texture is going to be a 1024 by 1024. So that is the best texture for Sims 2. And I'm going to Control T. That way I can see it. And it snaps correctly to where it needs to go. And then I'm going to Control E and Control S. Control E merges it, and Control S saves it. Which, you can still, if I back up here, I can just do merge and save. Same thing. And then we're going to go back to where we are with our ruffle. And then we have the black recolor. And then make sure that we rename it black and import it in. And we're going to do this for every single one. Every single texture. And maybe you don't want to do my textures. Maybe you want to make your own textures. That's fine. That's fine. The easiest way to do that is to use the lightest color one, the white or the gray, which I think in this one I don't include a gray. I think I have a white. So that would be the one you would use to make your own textures. That way you can keep the actual textures of the dress and go from there. And then we got to load the game. After you're done with all of your textures, you're completely done with it. You're like, I'm done. I'm good. Everything's good. I'm going to exit out of Body Shop. Exit out of here. We don't need to be in here. And we're going to rename our packages. I'm not going to put this up for download because I'm just doing this for tutorial purposes. I'm not gonna upload just a couple of recolors. But anyways, we're gonna open up the Sims 2 pack clean installer. We're gonna go to Save Sims because that is where our packages are. You notice that this isn't named anything that we would want in our game, so we know that that is not our file. We're going to rename. All I do is double click on that, right click, copy, right click, paste, boom, renamed. And you can see that it just changed in the screen behind us. And the same here, boom, done. And then once you're done doing all of those, you just go into your save sims, delete that package. We don't need it anymore. We're done. We're done with the extraction process. It's already linked, and we have the recolors we need. While you're at it, you might as well, since you have that all copied to your clipboard, make yourself a folder. And while you're also at it, make yourself a RAR folder, because why not? Make sure it's named what you want it to be named. Take it, boom, and go into the compressor, open it up, go and find it, Senate pumps. And if you had folders and folders, you would put the recursive and you hit go and let it eat up. Eat up. Look at them file sizes change. I'm so sorry to people I always forget to do this step before I upload, and then I'm like, am I gonna have to put the download to go back down just for them to do? No, I'm not. They know me well enough by now. They know I'm inconsistent about compressing my files. Sorry. So exit after you're done, and remember, if you're a dummy like me, don't put it in the raw file yet, because you want to make sure you have no mistakes, right? So we're gonna put this in here for now. Just that way I can locate it easily, and then we're gonna load the game. Once you're in your game and you buy your outfit and check it in game, you can kind of look at it and see already. Because a lot of times, if you already see mistakes, you'd already be able to see them. But we'll take a closer look. Don't see any issues. Just taking a quick gander. Let me make her walk. Looks like the skin is staying connected, so also check if you if you replace anything up here, you would also be checking to see if any of that had changed. You would be checking sitting positions, things like that, to see that none of it clips through. Okay. Next thing you would do is check, and I'm using the inseminator here, which it's unsupported, so most people don't use it. You'd be checking morphs. Uh, and I don't have the thing to make sure she doesn't change into maternity. Make sure both stages look good. Looks good. No problems, it looks like. Let me have her scope out the room here. Looks like our feet are staying good. No issues. Alright, so when you're satisfied, you take your files. Well, I guess I should exit out of the game, huh? I'm not gonna save. This is only a CC test neighborhood, so I'm not gonna save. Take your files when you're done with them. Find wherever you put them. Origin, go down. And usually I would take pictures of the swatches and pose her up and, take a little preview picture like I did here. And then I would just take that folder with all my textures and my mesh, and I would just plop it in there. Let it go through its process. And when, all your files... Hurry up. I know you're going to do it. There it goes. Get off. When all your files are done, for me, it would be this file, and then it would be probably a picture file. If I have the swatches separate, sometimes I include the swatches, and then every now and then I'll add a PSD for creators to recolor from if I remember to make one. And then you upload to like some file share or box, a Dropbox, or wherever you want to do it from. I personally do some file share and box, as long as neither one of them are giving me problems, because for a little bit while there was Mediafire, and then Mediafire decided, hey, we're not reliable anymore. So, it's hard to find a good reliable one. Sims File Share is the biggest one. It has a lot of issues moving servers and stuff like that we've had to deal with in the past. Right now, it seems to be doing good. I've used Box for a very, very long time, but you have to make sure that you include the workaround in it. That way, people don't constantly hound you about it because they don't have the workaround. So, but anyways, after you're done, you upload it, and then you make yourself a little, you know, if you want to share. That is, sharing is nice though. I like to share. So sharing is always nice. You remember to credit the people that you need to credit. For that particular one, you would credit eAccess, me, we, Blue Piece, and Senate, of course, for the heals. Um, and I always make sure to say it is for what age groups. If it was an EX mesh, that it comes in all the colors. If not, it comes in all these colors. If I don't provide all the colors, if you can include a PSD, it's always nice for creators to know that what categories it comes in, if the files are compressed, and if it has morphs. Always remember to label it for Sims 2. And I always put the name of the dress in. That way, if someone searches MDP, that's me, ruffle dress, it should pop up, at least in theory. And also remember to do some good tags. So hopefully this tutorial has been helpful. I did ramble a lot. More so than I thought I was going to, but I get sidetracked and my brain doesn't work, and I'm super dyslexic, so I hope that you learned something, or managed to get some kind of substance in between me rambling. If not, you can ask me at mdpthat'sme.tumblr.com, or over here in YouTube. However, YouTube doesn't always send me messages. They usually don't send me messages or emails for when people comment on my videos. I don't know why that is. I have it enabled for if people post questions for it to message me, but it doesn't. So the easiest place to find me is at mdpthat'sme.tumblr.com, or you can find me at hellhaspoken.proboards.com. Tutorial out.